So question 4, customer service and professional development. Part A, explain how you achieve and maintain quality customer service, worth a total of 8 points, almost worth half of the total points allocated for this question. Describe your customer service philosophy, linked to tourism accreditation, formal and informal training programs, how you go about training up your staff, your comment sheets and outcomes, percentage of repeat business or referrals that you get coming back into your business, and how many of your customers find you through word of mouth, and how do you actually handle complaints. It's a good time here to actually, again, show examples of if you do get a complaint through TripAdvisor, what's your policy? How have you shown how you can do this? And show actual real case studies of how you've actually gone about handling those complaints. Melinda, what would you expect from a smaller operator and a larger operator when answering this question?
Well, I guess a lot of these will depend on if you've only got a couple of staff, you're going to have quite different approaches to this. But it really is about recognising that anyone can have processes around customer services, whether you're small or large. So whether it be formal job descriptions or performance appraisals and those sorts of things, there still needs to be recognition of a policy around customer service. Even if you're a sole owner, for example, then there needs to be something reflected in your business plan and flowing through to your procedures. So there's going to be a different level, there is going to be a difference between small and larger operators. However, I guess the expectation is, no matter what your size, there should be some processes around how do you make sure that you can maintain quality customer service, because that's at the core of the tourism awards and excellence that they're promoting. Do you have any steps to that?
Yeah, certainly I'd say it's about quality. So how do you know you've got quality? You better measure it. So make sure you've got your measuring and how you're measuring it. It may be as informal that you're asking your staff about it, but ideally you've got some metrics in there to back you up. So as Tom mentioned, there's some free online survey tools out there. And this is anyone. This is a question that's maybe a great opportunity for a case study, because one of the things is you're measuring it, you get a result, customers giving you feedback, or you've looked at the numbers, what actions have you taken? So it might be a great chance for a case study saying, we noticed there was a dip in this question, scores down, and we made this alteration in the business, and we've had a net effect. So great opportunity for a case study in there. Because that's certainly one of the things I look for reading the questions is that, okay, you have staff meetings, do all these things, but what actions have you taken to correct it if the figure's moved, and if it hasn't moved, what are you doing? What's something you've done to improve it again?
Part B, customer service and professional development, is another one of those, I think, questions there to trip you up. How do you identify and provide for people with specific needs? Now, read that as specific needs, not special needs. This includes family, children, business travellers, physical, intellectual, I get that word wrong every time I think, intellectual disability, smokers, dietary, special interests, different languages. It can be obvious, it might not be as obvious, but really think about what specific needs you are putting into your business. Not just having a wheelchair accessible toilet, that's not going to cut it, unfortunately, at this level. And Vincent, you've probably seen a number of people being tripped up by this question in the past.
Yes, and I think last year it was probably 30%. That's where the answer stopped at. But there's so much, and it is get out of it long thinking that it's about special needs, no specific needs and stuff. So certainly think broadly about that. Great opportunity for you to learn something about your business you didn't realise you do. So stretch it beyond, because lots of people stumbled on that one and scored pretty low points as a result of missing the question.
This is one you should be able to score quite highly on, because it's really looking at practical things that you do in your business. So, yes, it's not points that you want to give away.
Part C is state the number of people working in the business and explain how you identify and determine professional development needs. Again, looking at this as a 3-part question to make sure you don't leave off any particular parts. And really, if you are an owner-operator business, really think about yourself within this question and how you determine your own professional development needs. So how many people there are, so think about your full-time, part-time, casual and your volunteers, and how many there are of those. Identification, how do you determine what professional needs they are after? Is it at induction? Is it half-year reviews? Is it full-term reviews? Is it on a case-by-case situation when an opportunity presents itself that you present them with that opportunity? And then how you determine what they need to do, so training needs assessment, training plans, budgets and things like that. So fairly straightforward question. Michelle, do you have any comments in relation to this? It's fairly good. Tom?
Straightforward. Again, this goes across all questions. Whatever you say here, make sure it's consistent in other areas. I just remember reading one once, and they were talking about number of staff, and there were 3 different numbers of staff through the document. So at one stage they had 20 odd, and then 27, and then 23. All that does is raise questions in the minds of the judges about consistency and accuracy. So I'll just use this because that was the example. Whatever you say in one question has to be the same in another. Make sure you're consistent, because otherwise you lose credibility in the minds of the judges.
There's also a point here as well, is that depending on the size of the organisation, is if you've got a training program that not just the general manager's doing all the training or the manager's doing the training, that the training is actually, you're saying that, oh yeah, we're doing all these different training courses, but you've got a staff of 10 and only one person's doing all those training courses, doesn't really reflect a really strong professional development strategy. Looks like just giving it all to one person. So be mindful of that, and the judges will pick that up when they are reading a submission as well. But then part D of this question really relates back to part C. So describe the range of training skills development programs undertaken. Again, it's worth about 4 points. And here we are, we've just provided you a couple of examples of how you can go about doing that, whether you just list the accounts team leader, the marketing manager and your staff, and actually the training that's undertaken. It's also a good opportunity here to, again, outline the outcomes. What have been the outcomes of putting them through this training, and how's that again affected your, or resulted in a benefit to your business also.